On to you.
Thanks, Sam. All right, we've got some news and some fresh comments from Treasury Secretary Bessent. Megan Cassella has those details for us. Megan.
Guys, good morning. Bessent was just speaking to Bloomberg TV and made a few headlines, made a few bit of news on a couple of different topics. The first is on Fed Chair Powell, and he talked about sort of the timeline moving forward for a Fed nomination. He was asked about news he had made on CNBC on Friday that nomination could come in October or November, even though Powell's seat doesn't expire. His term doesn't expire until May. Bessent saying today that there is a seat opening in January. That's Adriana Kugler's seat for a 14-year term. And so he says the administration is considering nominating someone to that 14-year seat who would go on to become the Fed chair. He was asked if there would then be confusion if that person gets nominated and takes their seat in January just to become the chair in May when Powell steps down. He says there should not be any confusion because obviously there are people who are currently at the Fed who are under consideration. So confirming at least some of the people who might go on to become the Fed chair are already at the Fed. He also, of course, had some criticism for the Fed, as we've heard from the administration, saying they made a gigantic mistake in 2022. He sees no inflation from tariffs and says, quote, they seem to be a little frozen at the wheel here. The other topic that he did hit on is trade and that July 9th deadline. He said there will be a flurry of trade deals going into the final week as the pressure increases. And when he was asked whether that would be a deadline where we saw tariffs increase, he says that's going to be up to the president. We do have countries that are negotiating in good faith, but they should be aware, he says, this is a quote, if we can't get across the finish line because they are being recalcitrant, then we could spring back to the April 2nd levels. He says he hopes that doesn't have to happen, but we could see some tariffs increase next week, maybe not all of them. Guys.
Okay, thank you, Megan. Megan Cassella.